much it was through networking, and that's what they were saying. It was all about networking, relationships. And they have to go out to these events and meet people, and it was pretty much exactly what I tell people in job searching. It's nobody is inaccessible these days. You can pretty much go up and meet anybody and find out where they are physically, events that they're going to, charities that they belong to, things like that. And that was comforting to me, to know, like, oh, of course that's the ingredient in success in the entertainment industry. If you have aspirations of doing that, you have to just go out and meet people and talk to people. And I mean, that sounds pretty simple, because you also have to make a good impression on people and do the research to find out where they are, and know what to say to them when you do talk to them. So, I mean, that takes some just going out and doing it and expanding your comfort zone and getting comfortable with it. But that was a good thing to take away that I can pass on to you. It's the same, really. If you want to work for XYZ company because they have tremendous benefits and they're a close commute to your house, and they have great growth opportunities, and they have a position that allows you to do exactly what you want to do, or they have a need that you can fill, same thing. All you have to do is research the individuals who are in a position to either give you the opportunity or present the opportunity to somebody else who can give you the opportunity, and get out there and meet them. And this was the same. And of course, I know that it takes time, not a lot of time, but it can take time to generate momentum in a certain new network, a new realm of people. So that's pretty much what I would pass on to you if you have an interest in the entertainment industry, that you will need to make connections. And there are ways to accelerate making connections, like finding people who are super connectors, which is not my term, but it's a term that's out there through a lot of webinars and books that I've read. People who know a lot of people. And this was an agency that between them knew a lot of people. And so, if you're exploring the it factor as an agency, a model management company, then I believe that they do have some very powerful connections in that way. And I also think that they work really hard, and that they will meet the people, new people that will open up doors. That being said, there's a lot of sketchy information that they present that can be confusing. And we all know that if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, then it's probably a duck. And unfortunately, this company looks like a duck. Just even to start with the bait and switch, and then the having to accept a position on the next day. And then if you're talent, you have to not say yes in the first meeting, but you have to make it back for a second meeting the next day, which means that you have to make it work. And I don't know if the motivation of this is to test you, to say, will you make it work? But I also don't know why that's a qualifying factor, because pretty much you're making the investment. It's your investment. And if you had to turn down a job because it was too far or it didn't work with your schedule, that would be your right. They're not making an investment for you. You're making it for yourself. So why would they be testing you to make sure you came back the next day? I don't know. If you would have to lose out on an opportunity because you couldn't come back the next day. That's one thing that I think they're letting people walk out their door. As a scout, I'm out there trying to get people excited about an opportunity to open up a door in the entertainment industry, and then I bring them in our door, and it seems like from there, they are doing some things to establish that they're legitimate, but mostly, apparently, they don't want to spend too much time focusing on the fact that they're legitimate, because they just feel like they are. And if you believe them or not, whatever, and that's their prerogative, but it makes it pretty difficult to scout when their only source of credibility that's out there, if you Google them, would be their own website. And that's where they address everything, really. Their answer to everybody's skepticism and things that you find online is go to our website. We address it all there. We know, because you're probably researching this anyway, that when you're skeptical of a company, everything they put on their website isn't sufficient to comfort you or reassure you, no matter how credible they are. Now, it was for me. I still had a healthy level of skepticism after looking at their website, but I did see that they had plenty of pictures to. All I really wanted to know is, do they have actual connections with people who can open doors for people? And two, are they working hard? Which they were. If they're working hard, why would they be scamming anybody? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you work hard to scam people? You could work hard and make an honest living. So they're working hard. They work all the time, which was something I also wanted to help them with, because I thought these open positions needed to be filled in order for them to be more strategic. They just need to be a company that's a little more transparent about how things go and more systematic, because they are growing and they need to replicate certain processes. But from your point of view, you've probably seen some of the worst that's out there. I know there's information about Michael, one of the owners, and I never met Michael, actually. I was there as a scout for 3 weeks, and he was a mystery to me, and he's still a mystery to me. So I can't address anything about Michael. I didn't meet him. I wasn't able to get an impression of him or feel for him. I did meet Alicia. I liked Alicia. I thought she was somebody that if we had met some other way, we could have been friends. Unfortunately, they didn't really have an interest in fixing the problems that I was passionate about helping them fix. And I didn't want to continue scouting because it was too hard. It was not something I could integrate into my everyday life and have an income. So scouts were dropping off like flies. A few scouts did get promoted, so there is opportunity there. So I just want to share that with you, because if you're evaluating an opportunity with them, I want you to know, first of all, I wouldn't have continued to work with them for 3 weeks if I thought that they were scamming people. Okay. I've worked really hard to make sure that I have a pristine reputation for my company, and maybe as a result of this vlog and becoming more visible with it, maybe I'll become a target as well. And it seems like that's what's happening to Alicia, and the industry in general is obviously a place where there's probably a lot of sleazy people, so a lot of good reason to be skeptical of people who rip people off. When your hopes and dreams are out there and you make yourself vulnerable, people will probably take advantage of you. But unfortunately, what I don't want to happen is I don't want people to give up on their dreams because they think someone is scamming them. I mean, I had an opportunity to pursue something in entertainment, and it was already too late, pretty much, for me. And I mean, I was working in a great job recruiting, was making a good income, I was planning a wedding, and I wasn't willing to put that all at risk for a guy who seemed not very genuine, kind of sleazy, to tour with a group who was the next big thing, which they actually were the next big thing. But even if I had known that, I don't know that I would have left everything that was really great in my life already to see if this was something really great or not. So I don't regret that decision. Of course, I always wonder what if. But I could understand why other people that I was scouting were saying, no thanks, I'm good. I mean, people that if you saw walking along, you would think they ought to be in movies, or if you heard them singing, you would say, oh my, they have to be on a big stage. Or just somebody you could watch being silly and just be saying, oh man, I would love to see this guy star in a movie with, Jim Carrey or something like that. And so there are people, I guess, that I wanted it more for them than they wanted it for themselves, which I find to be true also in career coaching, especially for people that I love, who I believe in, and then they don't always believe in themselves as much. I wish that they would address the things that are online directly. And that's from my training, what you're supposed to do if somebody says something negative about your company, is to handle it diplomatically and nicely, and don't give them any kind of weapon that they can turn against you. And I don't think that they have any interest in doing that. And if you ask them about it,